Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. So looking at DXY on the daily, like I've mentioned for the last probably month or so, there's no real clear direction here. Now we've got this A, B, C. It never went anywhere near this 100 pip, this wave C. So there's a couple of a few different scenarios now, because this can be an A, B, C in here, and then we get a C down here, and then we get an A, B, C for larger correction before you get an A, B, C. Or we just get an A, B, and this falls over here for a C down in here, and then we get the A, B, C. So we're really looking at the lower time frames for the direction, and so we're really just scalping. On the H4, nothing's changed. We were looking for a buy for this X2. We got this WXY. We've got this X2. We have a bear hidden here, so I'd be looking for that wave Z down this week. Next week, sorry, and then possibly go up and break this top. On the H1, you'd be looking at a buy. You'd be looking at some sort of a W, X, Y, an X2, and a Z up before you get that one down. So you could look to scalp that wave Z or wave 5, whichever way you look at it. You could look to scalp that. Bit risky to sell at this stage, even with that bear hidden, but AU on the daily, again, they're all very similar to DXY. On the daily, there's so many different scenarios here. We have a bear hidden here. So, we can get another one down in here, and it can even go and break that low. So we're really looking at the H4 for the direction. We were looking for that X2 last week. We got that. There is no bull hidden here at this stage, but I'd still be looking for a possible another one up in here. Give us that wave Z up. Probably is a little bit more on the time factor here yet. Like I got this arrow here, so there is a little bit, maybe a little bit upside, another one down, and then look for that buy. GU, we were looking for this C up in here. I mean, like the rest of them, the larger A, B, C, we can look at it as complete here, but we got all this very corrective, looking very corrective. So we're looking this to break out. It did break out. It comes straight back down though. When we look on the H4, we got this like WXY. We're looking for this X2. We're getting a bull hidden here. So I'd be looking for that wave Z up next week. Wave Z or wave 4, whichever way you look at it. Oh, wave 5, sorry. We don't have any bearish divergence here, so it may continue down. We may get a correction in here, another one down before it goes. EU, nothing's changed since last week. I am looking for this like A, B, C. That failed. This may be the end of wave C, but this in here was looking very corrective, so we're looking for the buy for this A, B, C in here. A couple of weeks ago, I did put out a buy on this on TradingView. That's why they got the targets on here. If you follow me on TradingView, you would see that I put out a trading idea around here somewhere for the A, B, C, first target and second target. First target wasn't quite hit, but you would have made quite a few pips out of that. We do have a bull hidden here, so again, we may get a wave Z up, or wave 5, whichever way you look at it. We are waiting for a time factor here, though. looking for a correction similar size to X1 over here at X2. So there's a little bit of time factor here left before it possibly could give us another one up. At this stage, you can't really sell it. You can't really buy it at this stage because we don't have any of that bullish divergence. So we can get like some sort of a W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down in here before we get that next one up. It looks like you're getting a little buy set up in here. You could look for it, but just be mindful that it may just be an A, B, C, or some sort of a correction in here, and it may not go for you. So you'll have to protect your position if you're looking for the buy at this stage, just in this little flag here. And new, similar to the others, you know, we'd never played out. We got this an A, B, C. I was looking at that as the end of the B wave, and then we get this C up. Again, this wave C never went from here, unfortunately. And we actually have a bear. Sorry, we don't have a bear hidden there. But nothing's changed. Like I've been looking at here as an A, a B, and we get a C down in here, and then we get an A, B, C, or this may turn motive. But we're looking for at least a C up after we get this A, B, C here. The H4, like I said last week, this is we got the 5 down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and we're looking for this to come down. Like I said last week, this is looking very corrective. So I'm looking for 1, 2, or an A, B, C here. There was a couple of opportunities, excuse me, to get in this, but now you have to wait for a correction, and more than likely we'll get a bear hidden in here, and then you could look for another one down. I would be waiting for the correction. I wouldn't be looking for flags here. Wait for the correction and then look for that wave 5 or wave Z down. GU, we're right at the top of the market. I'm only looking for sells, but it's not giving us those sell setups. We got this like W, X, Y, X2. We got the Z up. It went up to the second target. The first target's here at the 131, 123.6, and then the 161.8, that second target. Both targets were hit. This may be a correction in here. So we may get a sell set up here as an A, a B, and a C up before we get an A, B, C. So any sell setup I get on this, I'm looking for the sell. This is looking rather corrective in here, you know. So we got some sort of an A, a B, and a C up. May turn motive, get a wave Y, X2, and a Z up, and breaking that top. I mean, we haven't got a really nice impulse down at this stage. That's been the biggest problem. You know, this is the top over here, not here. So if we got some sort of W, X, Y, X2, and we get just a Z down, and it looks very corrective for more upside. Even though we're at highs, you know, with all this bearish divergence, you know, we still may get another one up, but it's looking like we will, you know, because this is looking rather corrective for more upside once this correction's over. So yeah, again, we're really just scalping, you know, on all the pairs really, because there's nothing solid on the daily to give us that direction. UY on the daily, you know, I would have really liked this to go up and break that top. It didn't at this stage. It hasn't at this stage. This was sort of looking corrective for another one up in here to go and break that top, and I was just going to look at all that as the B wave. It cut short. So now, as you can see, I'm looking at it like an A, a B, and a C. I'm only really looking for sells. If you remember a few weeks ago, I was looking at this for another one up. I was looking pretty corrective in there for give us another one up. It tried to go in here, but it didn't, and then it fell over. So we sort of got WXY. X2, I'd be looking for a wave Z down. We do have a bear hidden in here. So if you went down to the lower time frames, you may get a sell set up in here. Something to sell just for a wave 5 down, like a WXY, X2, and a Z down, and then possibly come up and break the top again. Yeah, I dare say it's the same on the H1 as well. We got a bear hidden, so got that bear hidden there. So yeah, I'd be looking for the sell. There may not be a sell on it at this stage on the lower time frames. But yeah, traders in my group know how to trade this. If you don't and you want to know, by all means join the group. UCAD, this is very messy. It has been for months and months. I was looking at that WXY, X2, and that Z up. We never got that Z up, and then I was been looking at this flat in here. Been looking at this flat for a very long time. We got 5 up in here, and then we got an A, a B, and a C, and we got this A, B, C in here, that flat there. And then we got that really deep wave C down. I was just looking for a running flat to start off with, then it turned expanding. And yeah, now I'm looking for it to go and break that top of wave Z. It hasn't broken that top in wave Z yet. And this has been quite difficult because, well, you can see how choppy this is. We got like 1, 2, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. It's very choppy. Now it looks like it is starting to go. So we'd have to look to see what sort of correction we got in here. Very messy, and I've just been saying the last few weeks, just I'd be staying out of it. At this stage, you can really only sell it, but is it going to give us unless we look at it something like, well, it's corrective. Whatever's happening in here, it's all corrective for another one down. We can see how choppy it is. Trying to work out what sort of correction, I'd be going as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then we got that one up for the A, B, C. This is the end. We got a nice impulse down in here, and we're getting a correction on the lower time frame in here too. But again, this may not fall over from here. It may give us another correction in here, give us another one up as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here before it gives you another one down. So you will have to be careful. You may get a bull hidden in here. And you get another one up before it goes. Falls over. The Swissy, I'm still very much bullish on this. This is, if you go back through my weekly outlooks, you'll see what I'm looking at on the monthly chart and why I'm looking to buy this. We got on the daily though, we got this A, B, C bounced off the lower trend line. We got a nice, plus we had that bullish divergence here for that C down. Now we got a nice impulse up. So I'm looking at this flat in here. So we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We lost the bearish divergence in that wave 5. We were looking for that wave 5 up because we had that bull hidden there. Now we got the larger correction. So there was a little setup in here to buy. I got in this. I got it to break even. Really like to see it go, but we'll see what happens. If I just put that on here. So I'm looking for another 5 up here. Like I mentioned, we got 5 up in here. We got a larger correction. I'm looking for another 5 up on the H1. For the H4, it doesn't really matter. On the H1 though, you more than likely have to wait for a correction. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bull hidden in here, before we get like a W, X, Y, X2, and we get that wave Z up. So at this stage, I'd be looking for a wave Z up, but I'll be waiting for the time factor and a bull hidden in here before I look to buy. EG, this is right down the bottom. It has finally broken the ending point of here. We got that A, a B, and we got this extended wave C. We got this like W, X, Y, X2. We're looking for this wave Z down. It was very messy on the way down, but over here, we're looking for it to break this ending point of wave Y, and it did just break it over here. If you have a look on the lower time frames, this was very deep. Like, we got a nice impulse up in here. Like, we got all that bullish divergence in this move down here, so that's great. We got an impulse up, but we got a rather large correction in here. Regular flat. So I'm looking for an A, B, C, and it's looking rather bullish in here. So you may get a nice buy set up in here. I mean, I suspect it's just a wave C up, but because how deep it is, but it may really take off. You know, the first target I'll be targeting that 100 fib, and their second target that 161.8. Like I said, this may turn motive and give us 5 up, or it may just be 3 up. So yeah, you'd have to watch this trend line. Oh, this fib level here, that 100 fib, because you may get a bounce off of that and go and break that low again. So yeah, WTI. Sort of looking. I have been looking at this as a correction. So we get an A, B, C in here, finishing off that B wave, and then we get the A, B, C. It hasn't fallen over yet, but we can see how choppy this is. It does look rather corrective, but it hasn't been giving us those sell setups. Um, I mean, this has hit a first target on the H4. We're looking for that A, B. We're looking for that C up to that 100 pip. That's already happened. Like I said last week, this is still looking rather bullish, and it's just not giving us those sell setups. So there's not much we can really do with it. And, we're getting all this bearish divergence here as well. So, it's difficult to buy. It's quite risky to buy. So yeah, we're getting even more bearish divergence now with the break of this top over here. So yeah, ideally for me, I'd be looking for a nice impulse down, breaking this low, and then giving us a sell setup, a correction and a sell. Rather than buying, this is too choppy to look at it as motive. So yeah. Gold, this sort of didn't play nicely. I was just looking for an A, B, C up in here instead of term motive. So now we're waiting for an X2 in here. I'm looking at a WXY X2 and we get a Z up. On the weekly time frame, we did hit that first target. I think I showed that last week or the week before. You could go back and have a look at the weekly chart. But that's pretty much it. I'm looking at there was a possible remove that. Oh, it's more on the H1, but we got a WXY, a possible X2 here, and we go up and just give us a 5 up in here on the H1. It hasn't done that, so now I'd be waiting for the H2, the H4 to play out, and we get that. The daily to play out, and we get that WXY X2 before we get that set up. So I'm looking at a correction a similar size to that over here. That could take quite some time. That could take a few months. So I dare say we're just going to be in consolidation here on gold for a very long time. If you're going to trade it, you're just scalping it on the lower time frames, and you could get cut to pieces. This is where people lose their money, trading in here in an X2 or in the corrections. That's where you lose your money because it's so choppy. You get into a trade and it takes you out. You get into another trade and it takes you out. It's better to wait. It's better to wait for this correction to be complete in time and then start to look for your correction. Then start to look for your buy or sell setup. Oh, if I just go back to that, you probably could look for a sell, but there is no sell on it at this stage. We sort of got like 1, 2, 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. So this can turn 1, 2, 3. You get a larger flat in here, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 5 in here as complex correction before we go. So again, it could be very choppy to trade. It's really for more experienced traders if they're looking to scalp at this time on gold. Silver's very similar as well. This I was looking for a flat in here. It never. Like, I was looking at an A, B, C. It never. Excuse me. It never went here. Like I explained last week. Because I was looking for this here to give us that A, B, C here. It never gave us that. Instead, it gave us a W deep correction, X, Y, X2, and we got that Z up, and we lost all that bearish divergence. So now, like I said last week, there is that possible flat there, but I'm really looking for a buy. I was hoping we'd get a larger correction here. It's kept on going up. So now, nothing's changed. I'll be looking for a larger correction here before I look to buy. And if it goes and breaks that top before it gives this correction larger correction, well, you pretty much have to leave it alone after it breaks that top, because we'll be getting a lot more bearish divergence on the higher time frames. So yeah, it makes it difficult, to buy. You're really just scalping. I mean, on the lower time frame, you may get. It's not even. No, we're getting all that bearish divergence, and yeah. I think last week I said, if you're going to put a buy stop above there, you got to be very careful, because we'll start to get bearish divergence. Yeah. What's happening on Bitcoin this week? We're looking for the correction. We got this. Got this wave Y up here. I'll be looking for an X2 and a Z up. So I'm waiting for this correction. Ideally, we get a bull hidden in here, and then we can look for that a wave Z up or wave 5. I'm only looking for sell. Like I've been mentioning the last few weeks, I wouldn't be buying this. It's already gone. There was a correction there. You could have bought, or this one here. And I did at the time. I did say this is your buy opportunity, and we got that. So if you miss the buy opportunities, you don't really want to be buying up here. It looks like there is a larger flat here, like an A, B, C in here, and it may give us more upside. And there is a bull hidden here as well. So more than likely, this is a flat, and we do get another one up here. You could look to buy it, I guess. When we're looking at the H1, you can see how much bearish divergence there is. Is it giving us a? It's not really giving us a buy setup after this possible flat like this A. All this is a B, and we get this C down as our flat. It's not really giving us a nice buy setup in here, unfortunately. It's sort of really, it sort of gave us 1, 2, 3 up in here, fell over, and then a very deep correction. It's more of a sell, if anything. This is more of a sell for another one breaking this low here for an A, B, C. Yeah, this is very deep, so it's going to be very hard to trade because this is so deep and it looks rather impulsive, not corrective. So it's going to be quite difficult. Again, you're at the top. The safest way to play this now is to wait for a correction, like wait for this larger correction in here. Wait for this bulk hidden and all the rest of it before you look for the buy again. Other than that, you're pretty much just scalping. S&P, nothing's changed on the S&P. We got the 5 up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got that 5 up. We lost all the bearish divergence. So I'm just looking for a larger correction, and then I can look for buys again. I'm not looking for buys up here, like I've said. I'm only really looking for sells. And you have to be careful selling because we're selling into a correction. And again, even though we have all this bearish divergence here, on the H4 doesn't mean that it can't keep on going up, like it has been here. Just keeps on. This can go on for some time, but eventually this will fall over. And I'm looking for. I want to get on the one that falls over. I don't want to be scalping up here. It's too risky. I don't really want to be scalping. I want to wait for that nice sell. The larger impulse is going to be to the downside. The upside, we're just going to more than likely just break the top, and then it gives you another deep correction. Breaks the top, gives you another deep correction, like it's doing here. Breaks the top, deep correction. Breaks the top, deep correction. So, it is very risky up here. I'm waiting for wherever the top is, nice impulse down, nice correction, and definitely won't want to miss that because this can turn motive and give us quite a large impulse down. And that's what I'll be looking to trade at this stage. There is no sell on it, unfortunately. AU200's giving us a really nice setup. Well, it's played out nicely on the daily. We got that 1, 2, 3 up, that wave C up. It just about hit that 100 fib, that target. This was, I got in this in here on the H4. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We got all that bearish divergence. The first opportunity to sell. I mean, I put this in the room. So a lot of the traders in my group would be on this, I dare say. But we got, this is textbook stuff. We got a nice impulse down. We got a correction, and we got at least 3 down here now. You can't get on it now because we do have bullish divergence, and it may just be an A, B, C, and we go more upside. But it's definitely worth getting on, into this sell because it could have turned motive, and it still may yet. But at this stage, since we have that bullish divergence already, it's very difficult now for you to sell it. You pretty well can't sell it at this stage. I don't think there's anything on the lower time frames either. Well, you may get a sell here. You'd be looking at some sort of a WXY, X2, a bear hidden here, and you may get an A, B, C here as your flat, and then you come down, break the low with that bear hidden playing out. So you may get a flat here on the lower time frames that you could look to sell. It's really mainly a scalp just for a wave 5 or wave Z at this stage. But if you're lucky, it's well worth trying to get onto it, because it could really fall over. I mean, we got 3 up on the daily with the bearish divergence. I think we got bearish divergence in. No, we lost the bearish divergence. Sorry, but yeah, it didn't quite get to that 100 fibs. So yeah, there's really not much you can do on it except for on the lower time frames and just scalping really. The footsie, it's a total mess, like I've mentioned, we're in this impulse here. All this is corrective. And like I said, we can get an A, a B, a C in here before we get an A, B, C. Or this is just an A, B, C here, and we just get a very choppy C wave up before we get an A, B, C. So I'd be waiting a little bit longer, waiting for a nice sell setup really. I think there was a buy in here by the look of it last week. Looks like we were looking for this in here to buy. That looks like it's happened. I'll just have to take this call. Sorry about that. So we're more than likely we're looking for a buy in here last week. Very risky as well. At this stage, I mean, there's really not much you can do. You're just scalping, and because we've broken the top again, we've broken the top over here. Now we have a lot more bearish divergence. So, yeah. Me personally, I wouldn't even trade this pair. Well, this instrument. It's well, especially at this stage, you just get cut to pieces. And what do we got here? The DAX finally. This has really taken off. There was a buy set up in here, and it looks like it's kept on going. This is not. I mean, if we take it from the start, what we're looking at, we got that WXY, X2, that Z up. We got that WXY down. Then we had this A, B, C in here as that large expanding flat. And then I was looking for like an A, B, C here. We got that wave C down, but it didn't go as far as I would have liked. Like I was looking for an A, B, C. It didn't, it was quite shallow, that wave C down. And then we'd be looking for upside, like for A, B, C, and all this is corrective. Ideally, that would have went down a little bit further to make it more convincing that this is a larger C down, that A, B, C here. But it did complete everything it needed to complete. Then it's taken off. So, this was your first buy opportunity in here. Gave you another one in here, and now we're getting all this bearish divergence. So we've got A, B, C up in here. We're getting the bearish divergence. I mean, very difficult to sell. Well, it's not giving any sell setups yet. You really need to wait for a sell setup. I wouldn't be looking to buy. We've got a lot of bearish divergence. I'd be more interested in wherever the top is, wait for a nice impulse down and a correction, so you can at least get an A, B, C down, and if you're lucky, you get a larger correction and it turns motive for you. So that'll be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook and got something out of it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.